Hey everyone, this is Tillery here, and I'm coming at you today with a new tag. Alrighty, so today I'm doing the writer's process tag. So let's jump right into this. Question number 1. What genres do you write in? I write in poetry, which I still like writing poetry. I write paranormal romance, fantasy, horror for sure, just romance. Number 2, what setting gets you the most productive? To get me productive, I mean, I try to be productive every day, but the write-ins with other writers on YouTube gets me very productive because there's like 15-minute sprints. And I guess it's like, even though it's not a competition, I guess it can feel that way sometimes to some people. But I think it's the fact that everyone's trying to write, as many words as possible. For some, I really like it because it gets me really working. So it really works for me. So I think the write-ins are my most productive times. Number 3. If you have multiple story ideas, how do you choose which one to start with? I will write down the different ideas, and then I will decide, title of the book, and then I will have my stories on the back burner, and then I start with the one that most calls to me, the one that I think that I'm resonating with the most at that time, and that's the one I'll pick to write then. So yeah, that's how I do it. That's how I choose which one. I don't choose through the ideas because then I take them all and jot them down, and I have so many different novels to work on. But once I do get them separated, the ideas, so to speak, I pick one based on which one calls to me the most at the time. Yeah. Alrighty. Number 4. Do you outline? Yes, I do. I didn't always outline, but I definitely do outlining now. So there's that. Yep. Outline goddess over here. Question number 5. Do you start your first draft with pen and paper, typewriter, or computer? I start my first draft now with my tablet. That's where I type on. So I have my books backed up on my desktop, but I don't handwrite in books anymore unless I'm out and that's all I have with me. Then I will do that, but I tend to try to start on my tablet. Number 6. What do you do to get through writer's block? I think writer's block is a myth. I don't think that's actually something that exists. I'm sure there are writers that would disagree, and that's fine. A lot of things are opinion based, but there's facts to a lot of other things. To me, I don't think that it exists simply because I think it is an excuse, and we humans use excuses all the time in order to not do something. Whatever the reason may be is more deep-seated, and you know personally why you don't write. And it's okay if you don't write. Well, it's not okay that you don't write. It's more like, at least face up why you're not writing. Either you don't feel like it, or you have a lot of things going on in your life that are distracting you from writing, which is fine. Life happens. But let's not throw it on to something like writer's block. You're not blocked by anything that isn't you. So technically you don't have writer's block. Only one that's blocking you from writing is yourself, because you aren't writing. I don't know, you're like, well, what if I don't have any new ideas? Okay, well then you don't have any new ideas. It's still not writer's block. You don't have any block. I'm like, well, I want to be a writer, so if I can't come with any new ideas, well then you need to take the time and just start writing anything. You need to take a walk in, a park or whatever, or wherever you may be, or go on vacation, whatever you are doing at that time. Just write about that. Write your memoir. Write about your everyday. Keep a diary or a journal, whatever you want to call it. It gets you writing. It's just to get yourself back into the flow of it, because you're the only one stopping you from writing. So only block is you. So there is no writer's block in the sense that people tell you. So I don't get writer's block. So I can't really help you with that question. Alright, so question number 7. Do you format from the beginning or worry about that later? I worry about that later. because I want to write the book. I want to get the book finished. I want to tell my story, and then formatting can come later. I'm not worried about that type of detail at the time. I don't even worry about perfect grammar or spelling and things like that when I'm first writing, because I want to write the story. And then when I go back to edit, then I do, the grammar and the spelling, and then, I used to go through, like, I guess 3 drafts or whatever before I give it to my editor. So I don't worry about format and stuff like that when I'm first writing the book. No. Alrighty, question number 8. Do you edit as you go or when you finish with the first draft? I do not edit as I go, as I stated before about the formatting thing. I don't do any of that stuff. I do not edit as I go because that also would take you longer to finish your book, and it could make you get writer's block. The myth of writer's block, that doesn't exist. But it could get you stumped, so to speak, because you may have lost your train of thought or something like that. I don't think it's required to edit your book while you are writing. You have to do your best not to bother with that, and you can go back and edit after you finish the first draft. So no, I don't. I mean, it's up to you how you want to do it, but this is about me, okay? My writing process. I do not edit while I'm writing the first draft, so no. Question number 9. How long is your break after completion before you go back to it? Well, I haven't finished my novel. I haven't finished a novel. I have finished short stories, and I have finished poetry, but I have not finished a novel. So when I finished my short stories, I didn't really think about how long I was going to take a break. That's not really something I focus on, like how long is this break going to be in between? Should I take a breather? I prefer just to go on to the next thing. If I did take a break, I think it kind of starts a bad habit. If I took a break, like, I might not feel like it or something. I don't know. So I don't really like taking breaks. It's like to just go into the next thing. Yeah, going on to the next thing. Question number 10. What do you prefer to do to get you through your writing? I don't really prefer to do. I don't really prefer anything. Like I said, I do write-ins with other writers on YouTube. That gets me through. Like, it makes me write more words at a time instead of, like, 500, 800 at a time. I usually always get at least 1,300 to 1,500 when I do a write-in. So I like to do write-ins to get me through, as they say. Question number 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions? I don't schedule a time. I just try to make sure I write every single day. That's just the thing I try to teach myself. Write every day. I don't really schedule any specific time because that's a little harder to do because of the way my schedule in life works out. So I don't schedule a very specific time. If I do write-ins, those are scheduled because someone else scheduled them. But yeah, I don't schedule my own. Nope. Question number 12. Do you have word counts or chapter goals? I do, as I said. I give myself at least an 800 count a day to try to do. If I don't do that, then that's fine. I do try to at least write something a day. So that's my goal. Now, chapter goals? No, not really. If I write a whole chapter, I don't really do chapter goals because it's like, okay, I don't know when I'm done a chapter when I'm done a chapter. And chapters are different sizes, so no. But I do have word count. I try to do 800 a day at the minimum. Doesn't always happen, but I do try. And that's all you can do. Question number 13. Are there any quirky things you do to make your project more fun? Quirky things. Well, I don't think it's quirky. I like to go look at pictures of different people that would look like my characters, and then I take the pictures and then I put the characters' names with the pictures and say, well, this is this character, and if they change their look later, then I can go look again. I guess that's quirky. I don't think it's quirky, but that's one thing I can think of that I do with that. And I go find music that fits my characters or certain scenes in the book which I think is actually productive for your story. So I wouldn't say they're quirky, but that's some things that I do. So I don't really necessarily think I do anything quirky, per se. But yeah, so I'm going to go with that. Question number 14. Do you work on multiple projects at one time? I have been known to do that. I'm trying to break that habit because that just takes me long to finish anything. So I have done it in the past, but currently I am not doing that. I am working predominantly on Chronicles of Cagliostro only. Question number 15. How often do you research what you are writing? It depends on what story I'm writing. In most of my stories I do require research. It just depends on how often. I don't do it too often. Usually at the beginning when I'm doing my ideas, when I'm getting the ideas before I do my outline, I'll do research then. I will research, like when I'm doing my character bios, I'll research locations and birthplaces and stuff like that for my characters. So that's when I'll do my majority of my research at that point. So when I do my outline, I won't have to do the researching. I already have all the notes and stuff for that. So I research my characters' names that I came up with. I will research places of birth. I will research if I'm basing a certain scene or a place that's going to be a predominant place in the book, then I will research it to make sure that what I'm saying and using is accurate. Though in my fantasy stuff and a lot of my personal, so I make places up based in the real world if it's based in the real world. But if you're going to make up your own places, I don't have to really research so much because I'm making everything up anyway. But I'll research things relative to it so it can be coherent. So how often I do it, like I said, I do it at the beginning. So I mean, that's not often, but I research enough at that point to get all the things that I need before I do my outline. So not too often, but often enough. Question number 16. How do you organize your projects? How do I organize my projects? Well, like I said, that was my writing process. So I have my ideas, like I'm doing my writing process videos, but I have my ideas and I get my ideas together as they come to me. Then I separate them. So I'll do, you have the name of the book, then I'll have ideas about what the book's about, then I'll have main character, then I'll have side characters, and then I'll have bios for those characters that I'll start building, and then I'll have each character, then the places that they're born, then that plays into the story. So then I have an organization of that. Then I want to do a list of places that's in the book, and then the places that's going to be in the book as far as like the names, what they look like, details like that. This stuff actually helps to do this, in my opinion, my writing process, do this stuff before you do your outline, because that way when you're saying things in your outline for Act 1, 2, and 3, then you know where you're going already. You don't have to go back and change so many things if your process before outlining is organized, so to speak. So you're organizing your ideas before it become an outline, which is the blueprint. So yeah, for my ship, since that's my whole metaphor, the ship. Number 17. Do you reward or punish yourself for achieving or missing out on your writing goals? Reward myself? Yeah, I love to reward myself. So I'll be like, I'll buy myself a new book or something like that if I finish 5,000 words in a day or two. Something like that. But I don't punish myself because I didn't finish my goal of 800 words at least a day or something like that. I don't believe in that. I did my best, I tried, and I did write something. So I'm okay with that. Even if it's only a few lines, if I don't even get 150 words or 300 words or something, as long as I wrote something, then I'm pretty happy with myself on that. So question number 18. Are there works similar to your project that you look to for inspiration? I don't. I look up to a lot of different writers. I have my select writers, are my favorite writers that they are inspiration, but I do not believe in any type of plagiarism. And not that looking to books for inspiration is plagiarism, but I don't want it to affect what I write, because I'm telling my story, not someone else's story. And I don't want it to even be a possibility of plagiarism to that degree. So I don't want to copy anyone. So usually when I am hard into writing, I don't read my books as much. So I have like a bunch of books that I purchased over the last couple months that I haven't read yet, because I'm really working on finishing this book. And I don't want any interference from those books to bother me, because you could be influenced even when you're not trying to be. So just in case, I don't want to do that. So I don't read any new novels or anything while I'm working on my novel myself. Question number 19. When do you look for and hire an editor? Well, Chronicles of Cagliostro is about finished. I don't have any more. I don't have that much longer to go. So I already hired an editor. I would hope that she stays my editor, but we'll see. You never know that. It could be an editor for one book or two books or a whole series or not at all. But we did a test run. She did very well. I like what happened with us. We're going to work together and see what happens. So that's my editor. I've hired already. We will see how the relationship goes. That's just something that the future will let me know. But I usually wait until my book is about complete before I even hire an editor. So I have a little bit of time to finish it, and then I can send it to them. Yes. Question 20. If you are done your first draft, tell us how you felt afterwards. If you are still working on it, tell us how you feel at the moment. I am not done my work in progress. I am still working on it. And right now, at the moment, I feel pretty good about it. I figure, I'm telling the story I want to tell. I want to share it with the world. So, yeah, I feel really good right now. And it's coming along. I didn't always feel great because I wasn't believing in myself. And that's the biggest thing. Believe in yourself and tell the story you want to tell. And don't worry about anything else. Just write. Question 21. I have to tag someone else. I don't really, I'm new to YouTube, to Authortube, and I have some subscribers so far. I don't really know of who I would want to tag, because I'm sure that quite a few of the people that's on my channel have already been tagged for this. So I want to say I'm just going to tag anyone that's subscribed to me or is watching this that's a writer that wants to do the tag. I'm sure I'll get some new people that's subscribing to me that haven't done the tag, but I'm not sure who that would be right now. So if you're on here, you haven't done it, I'm tagging you to go for it, because that way you can understand your own process if you haven't even thought about it. And then your audience gets to know about you, your process, and about you. Alrighty, I will see you guys next time. You know what to do.